Today is October 5th in the year 2025. We're in the new Hamlet of Plum Village, and we are welcoming our retreatants who have come for a week to practice with us in terms of happy farmers. And the topic of the week's practice and learning and experience is rooted in healing, a journey to healing with Mother Earth. This is very beautiful. I think we've all had a taste, so to speak, of our mindfulness practices that we do. We learn about slowing down, relaxing, stopping when we hear the sound of the bell, and then coming back to ourself with mindful breathing. And this simple practice helps our mind come back to the present moment instead of thinking about the future or the past. We remain really firmly established in the here and now. And as farmers, I believe this is one of your greatest capacities, is to be truly present with the earth in the present moment. So it's a wonderful practice to bring to your farming moments or the farming activities you do. The breathing while working with your hands or while walking. And the second basic practice we've all had the opportunity to do together is the mindful walking. And we walk gently on Mother Earth, especially now, when some parts of the earth, Mother Earth, some parts of the globe, Mother Earth, is not experiencing a lot of gentle footsteps. So let us offer her our love and peace with every step that we make. And we can do this. And as farmers, you have the opportunity to offer your love to the earth when you plant, when you cultivate, weed, and appreciate the crop that she has offered. So it's a very beautiful practice. The Buddha recommended that a talk be delivered in terms of the audience listening, according to the needs of the audience. So please allow me this morning to focus on the happy farmers who are with us today. And of course there'll be the teachings as well, but the focus will be for our friends who've come this week. We've had rain. Farmers are usually very happy when it rains. I would like to tell you a little bit about the beginnings of our happy farm. It's early life, before it became a happy farm. Would you like to hear? I thought I would tell you a little bit about this happy farm. So, in the early days of New Hamlet, we had a vegetable garden. Very, very sweet, a vegetable garden. And who was the gardener? Who was the main gardener who took care of everything? It was Sister Nghiem. And those of us who live here know Sister Nghiem very well. How she really loved growing vegetables and flowers. And she loved so much to bring the best seeds to the garden that they were imported from Vietnam to give us the beautiful aromatic herbs that we eat. Latiato, the perilla herb, and special coriander, other vegetables that are unique to Vietnam. We had the opportunity to grow these in our little garden. There was, of course, the bitter melon and a kind of summer squash that grew down. We built the trellis, sort of a vine, and it just grew down. And we'd have to pick it because it just kept growing. It was sort of green, smooth skin. So this was another sort of exotic vegetable. Happy Farm was also, the garden was also at the Fragrant Well House, where maybe some of you are staying, where the lines are for hanging your clothing. Sister Bao Nghiem made a garden. And once she planted pumpkins. So we had lots of pumpkins. And then another time she wanted an artichoke garden. So we had lots of artichokes, but they weren't exactly the kind we could eat. It was a wonderful time. Watering the garden was done with a hose. Do any of you remember what a hose looks like? I don't know if your gardens have hoses now, but we had a hose, a garden hose, and then a nozzle at the end, and you could turn the nozzle and have a very fine spray, or else a more streamlined source of water. And we also had one little sprinkler, so to speak, sort of an arc, and it would turn to the right and the left, and the water would go to the right and to the left. And because we had only one, we would have to move it to different places in the garden. It took a long time to water the garden with the hose. The young sisters were there in the morning before sunrise, watering the garden. And then after sunset in the evening. So you can imagine how happy we were when it rained. And in the summer, everyone was not so happy because during the summer retreat, the children in the children's program loved to have games with the sisters. Really, it was called a soccer or a football championship playoff. And this was always an anticipated event in the summer retreat. In those days, the kids could stay for 1 month. So whenever it rained, the gardeners were so happy because we don't have to water the garden. But the kids and the sisters, oh, too bad it's raining. So rain is really wonderful. Kind of depends on what your plans are. So that's the history of what is now transformed into a happy farm. And we I would like to really offer our deepest gratitude and thanks to Sister Bao Nghiem. And now we have Sister Phoenix, who has taken over the stewardship, and our long-term lay friends. There was Geraldine, Charlotte, and others. I'm getting there. I'm getting to Revi. she's so much appreciated. You think I won't say her name, but I am. I'm getting to it. So the compost team has done a lot, yeah. And now the star is Revi. So she has, she transformed our little garden into a farm. We have an irrigation system. And, it's so nice. We don't have to stand there with the hose. But she's added a lot more from her knowledge and experience. So we're very happy to have all of you here today, and I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about the past life of our happy farm. There was a little garden once. Sister Nghiem herself would go to the farmers and order the fertilizer. I guess you call it manure. There were cow farmers across the road, and also horse. She got the horse stuff. So things were fertilized. And then she would also go to Nghiem and buy the 50-liter bags of soil. Engrais or something, soil. 50-liter bags, and she got these and would bring them back. And so, we're very grateful to so many who have contributed to the happy farm we have now. So, thank you. Let's enjoy a sound of the bell and come back to our body. Our body is the earth. Let's nourish the earth in our body with oxygen, calmness, and peace. So living in New Hamlet over the years, we saw how Sister Nghiem and the other sisters cultivated the land. They turned the earth over, and fresh air and the sunshine penetrated the soil, and they did everything that I think all of you farmers are doing now. The Buddha has given us some wonderful teachings in terms of cultivating, and he said, cultivate the mind. The bhavana is the cultivation, and the citta bhavana is learning how to cultivate our mind. So how can we imagine doing that? Thai wrote some very beautiful verses on cultivating our mind, understanding our mind. It's actually in a book called Understanding Our Mind. It was first called Transformation at the Base, and he wrote 50 verses about how to understand and cultivate our mind. And the first verse is, mind is a field in which all kinds of seeds are sown. Every kind of seed is kept in the soil of our mind. It has been called also the earth. And the mind is understood as having a very deep layer called the store consciousness. The deepest layer of our mind is where all these seeds stay, and they stay in a very sleeping state. So what do we mean by these seeds, the bijas? So these are impressions we have received even when we were in the womb of our mother. They have been transmitted to us by our ancestors, by school, by society, and by all of our experiences. Now, how do we receive these experiences? Through our sense organs in the present moment. So, what happens in the present moment that comes through our sense organs, our eyes, our ears, our nose, our tongue, the sense of touch, the body, and our mind, all of these impressions go down to the deepest level of our mind. And I'd like to start drawing a picture of this, as Tai very often did, in describing the mind, in cultivating the mind and cultivating different seeds in the mind. Particularly, we want to learn about cultivating the seeds of happiness, of joy, of love, of peace, and well-being. So Tai would draw a circle. I'll draw a circle now. It represents the mind, but it's not the mind. So if you were to have brain surgery, please don't ask the surgeon if he found the circle with all the seeds. It's a picture, okay? This is the deepest level of the mind that I was talking about, the store consciousness, okay, the alaya. So let's see what kind of seeds could be there. Mindfulness, wow. It's a very wonderful, important seed that can grow and become very strong and available for us when we practice mindful breathing and mindful walking, for example. Also mindful eating and being aware of your hands when you're working on the farm or in the earth. Mindfulness is having contact with something. Mindfulness has an object always. So, mindful breathing means I'm in touch with my breath, my breathing in and out. Mindful walking means I'm aware of my feet touching the earth, okay? The experience of touching. Yeah. Mindfulness. Okay, let's see what other kinds of seeds. Do you have any positive seeds you'd like to put in the diagram? Does anyone have any?
Joy.
Joy, yes, okay. Another one?
Patience. Patience.
Patience, yes, right. okay? I like compassion. Is that okay? Can we add it? All right, good. Love. Love, yes. Oh, wonderful. We remember Thai talked about love and understanding. Okay, how about understanding? Is that pretty positive? Okay.
La bienveillance.
Pardon?
La bienveillance.
Bienveillance, loving kindness or kindness. Okay. Well, we have so many positive seeds in our star consciousness. Okay, maybe there's some seeds that are not quite positive yet. What do you think? Anger? We seem to specialize in that. I don't know. It's in all the talks. Yeah. Hate? Hate, yeah, okay. Anxiety?
Ça peut être le contraire de
Yes.
la joie, la tristesse.
Yes, of course. So the opposite of all of these, well, we could write on this side, but it would take a long time. Do we have climate anxiety? Anxiety? Okay. All right, so now how are these seeds going to wake up and get watered? Because when a seed wakes up and receives enough stimulation, it's going to come up to the level of our mind, our thinking mind, all right? So it's going to receive water through the eyes, our ears, what we hear. Eyes, ears, okay. Nose, tongue, body. So we see the beautiful sunrise. It's very beautiful now. The sky is pink. Have you noticed that? Yeah, okay. We see the beautiful sunrise. Oh, it's pink. That has watered the seed in the seed of joy, and then it will spring up as a flower of joy. All right, but suppose someone speaks or gets angry or criticizes something I've done or something like that. Has that ever happened? Maybe. Okay, so our ears have heard some unkind words. Well, whoops, that goes. And what is the seed of anger or maybe fear? We're scared. A person would talk like that. So someone's anger can water my seed of anger. I say, why? Why do you say that to me? So, okay, now anger has been watered, so, whoa, it comes up as a flower. But it's not too happy. It's not a happy flower. So what do? We know we're on the path of healing. We want to heal our suffering, our wounds. What do? Yes, okay. Our mindfulness will come and help. So at that moment, we won't say anything. Stop. I'll breathe in and out. my friend mindfulness, please come and help me right now. Okay, mindfulness is there, just ready to help. And it's very generous. Wow, that's mindfulness. A good friend smiling to embrace the anger. Yeah. All right, so that is the diagram of seeds in our stored consciousness, how they can be watered in the present moment. So the seeds come from the past. They've been planted. And we experience their waking up in our mind in the present moment. So the two basic practices, stopping, recognizing the feelings coming up and emotions coming up. Let me take care of it with my mindfulness, embrace it, or I need to do some walking. Walking 10 minutes or 1 hour. And mindfulness will change the energy of that seed and help it return smaller, less strong. So let's just practice breathing. We've been talking about that. And hearing the sound of the bell, we know we can take care of ourselves and enjoy breathing. In the springtime, we notice that flowers will suddenly come up from the earth. They've been sleeping. Here we notice the daffodils, the jonquil. They manifest first. So, where do you think they've been? They've been in the earth, like all of our seeds, so to speak, in the depth of our consciousness. After the daffodils, then the packerette, the dandelions, the iris come up. Where have they been? They've been sleeping in the earth, like all of the seeds in our consciousness. And seeds really means experiences. The experiences we've had, the experiences our ancestors have had that have been transmitted to us. So, part of the practice of understanding healing is to go back to the title, Rooted in Healing, the roots. We want to discover our roots from our ancestors, our blood ancestors, and our spiritual ancestors. Understand these roots, and we'll have a practice this week, the Tairot, that helps us look deeply into these roots we have. And we know that roots are very powerful. The bamboo forest has an amazing root network. How do we know? That in the spring, a little bamboo shoot will pop up out of the earth about 3 meters, 6 meters away from the forest. How did it get there? The roots. We also know trees have a wonderful network of communication and roots, how they help one another. So roots are very deep. And part of our healing is understanding and appreciating the best qualities of our roots. Of course, we know there has been suffering and a lot of despair connected with some of the expression of ancestors and their actions and roots. But the way of healing is to focus more on watering the very positive seeds that are in our consciousness. How do we do that? With our sense organs. My eyes can see the sunshine now. How wonderful. My ears hear the song of the birds. My nose smells the fragrance of the flowers of the pine forest, the earth, the good earth. My tongue tastes the nectar of the Dharma. Well, my tongue tastes, maybe a good cup of coffee is enough in the morning. Taste the beans or whatever, or the tisane. My tongue tastes the chamomile. It's lovely, and my body is relaxed. All right, so we have these practices that will help us focus our attention and energy on how to heal. And applying this to Mother Earth, we want to express our love and appreciation for the beauty of Mother Earth. How she has sustained all life, giving birth to all species, nourishing, holding, and healing all. Bodhisattva Gaia, she's a great bodhisattva whom Thai loved very much. The planet Earth is a bodhisattva. And you know what? We are also bodhisattvas. Do you know why? We have compassion. That's Avalokita, Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of great compassion. We have that seed, all right. Now, understanding. We have the seed of understanding. That's Manjushri Bodhisattva. Working mindfully and with joy. Wow, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva. We can be Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, working with joy with Mother Earth. And fearless and persevering, patience. Okay. Sitikarpa. Okay, so, well, why not? Just water these seeds, and we are bodhisattva. That meaning we have the mind of love, and we want to help, and above all, help Mother Earth. Let's enjoy the sound of the bell, and we'll move on. And I was invited to give a short Dharma talk, which is a real challenge. But I have 5 more minutes. It's okay. To give you time to be on the happy farm. And now there's sunshine. We'll hear a bell. So we want to practice appropriate attention, okay? That is to give more of our bare attention, that we use our sense organs to pay attention to things that are wholesome. We'll not spend too much time, for example, with social media, But it's up to you to decide. But to be aware of the effect of when you see something, hear something, think certain thoughts, or hear conversations, what effect is it having on me? What effect is it having on the earth in me? Is it creating happiness or I'm suffering? So later this week there will be 5 guidelines that'll help us identify this. I thought about what would be one obstacle to healing. And of course there could be many obstacles, but I chose one. And that is the obstacle of criticizing, self-criticizing, criticizing myself. I don't have kind thoughts about myself. I really give myself a hard time. I'm judgmental. I'm not my best friend sometimes with self-criticism, but also criticism coming from others, addressed to me. I don't know if this is widespread, but I have discovered that being criticized, we can lose confidence in ourselves. With negative self-talk, well, who's there to disagree? I'm saying negative things about myself. Who will disagree? There's just me talking to me. So, criticism, and this can be an obstacle. But it doesn't have to, okay? And the way out is to look deeply, to ask, is it true? You may be right, but are you sure? Now, I want to read to you a situation that occurred in the Buddha's life. And it's found in Thay's book, Old Path, White Clouds, and it's from the Sutta Nipata 1, verse 4, 5, and also the Samyutta Nikaya, book 7, number 11. So I'll read the section to you, and we'll understand something, how Buddha handled it. Okay. One afternoon, as the bhikkhus passed by rice fields, they were stopped by a wealthy farmer from a noble caste. His name is Bharadvaja. He owned several thousand acres. Sounds like big ag, doesn't it? Big agriculture, yeah. Maybe not. We're simple farmers, okay. It was the season for plowing, and he was out directing the efforts of hundreds of laborers. When he saw the Buddha pass by, he stood directly in his way and said with some contempt, "We are farmers. We plow, sow seeds, fertilize, tend, and harvest crops in order to eat. You do nothing. You produce nothing. Yet you still eat. You are useless. You don't plow, sow, fertilize, tend, or harvest." Woo, that's a criticism to the Buddha. I would never say that, but he didn't know he was talking to Buddha. Or maybe, yeah, anyway, okay, now listen what the Buddha said. The Buddha responded, "Oh, but we do. We plow, sow, fertilize, tend, and harvest. Then where are your plows, your buffaloes, and your seeds? What crops do you tend? What crops do you harvest? He was saying, show me. The Buddha answered, we sow the seeds of faith and confidence in the earth of a true heart. It's all of you practitioners. Yeah. Our plow is mindfulness, and our buffalo is diligent practice. Our harvest is love and understanding. Sir, without faith, confidence, understanding, and love, life would be nothing but suffering. Wow, that's a beautiful answer. So, the landowner, was so impressed by this that he bowed down before the Buddha and asked to be accepted as a lay disciple. Now, that's really beautiful, yes? So, all of us are plowing and with our practice of mindfulness, and we can continue this week knowing that certainly the Buddha is happy with our kind of farming. I have just maybe 1 minute left. I want to offer just one way to deal with, maybe it's called climate anxiety or sadness or whatever, if we're keeping in touch with the global picture from Mother Earth somewhere. And it's possible to still be happy though, okay? So nature is always there for us. The sun is still rising. The rain nourishes the vegetables, the fruit trees, so there's still life. And mindful practice helps us enjoy the beauties of life in the present moment. We focus on what is going well. What trees in the forest are still healthy. So mindfulness gives us this opportunity to smile to life in us and around us. The beauty, the joy, the peace, the well-being, it's still available. Even though what we may read or hear about is the opposite, but come back to what is still beautiful and nourishing. So here's a little verse I will end with. And it goes, the world is burning up or drowning in rain. Some countries just have torrents and floods, and it's too much. Yet this morning, being outside, the soft air touches my cheek. And I hear that it breezes through the leaves of the trees standing tall. And the leaves swish like waves reaching the amazing shore. Look at the sky. Baby blue is the sky. No clouds or sing, no obstacles. The sun sits silently, and a few leaves are starting to fall, announcing autumn is drawing near. Yet this morning, the gentle, soft breeze is everywhere, sweeping in happiness for us all. So, we have our sense organs, okay? The touch, seeing, hearing, and appreciating. So let us continue our practice with this possibility this week. And we wish you all a very joyful and happy and a nourishing week of transforming and healing with the Happy Farm and the staff and the sisters. And here's a wonderful book that arrived in my hands last night from Revi. It's called The Buddha's Mindful Farm, Organic Agriculture and Sustainability as Buddhists, bringing the wisdom and the practices and the love and the peace from the teachings of the Buddha to farming. Yeah, so I let you all know about this, and Revi will be a source if you want to know more. Thank you, dear friends, for listening. Thank you. And have a lovely day, and we'll hear 3 sounds of the bell to renew the earth of our mind, the soil in our consciousness with mindful breathing.
So, dear Thai, dear Sangha,